Those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
And Boston has possession. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. And that one's good, Jokic.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Kerr, the pass to Jokic. Kerr with it. He's got 23. Kerr with another miss.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it, I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there, but he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has. How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
In the corner, Douglas Roberts with it. Boston making a switch here. Wallace is checked in.
That's his second personal foul.
Here is Kerr.
Coming off the floor for the Boston team.
Shot clock at 6. And again, no good by Chicago.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight. And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Douglas Roberts dishes to Kerr. The tray cannot hit. Great D that time from Curry.
And so much for repeating the three-point barrage he put on in the first half. Nothing here in the second.
Coming off the floor for the Boston team. Lucas Nogueira. Rashard Lewis.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. And Young kicks to Wallace. Back to Young. Passes it to Rozierrrrrrrrr. Clock at 4. For the lead. Can't get it to go. And it's Chicago the other way. Here's Douglas Roberts. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Douglas Roberts has got 4 points now in the quarter. This is to Young. Lewis on the wing. Good on the three-point shot. And Boston leads by 1.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
That's his first personal foul.
There's 48 seconds left to play in the third. For 3, Kerr. Shot's good. Kerr's got 26.
This guy is simply having a great game from outside.
It's stolen by Douglas Roberts. 4 on 3 as they bring it up. Kerr with it. Guarded now by Gerald Wallace. And stolen by Wallace. Here's the break.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
And here's Kerr. Got it off in time. That's the end of the third, and it's all tied up. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. And so here is Chicago. Allen Anderson out there with Kerr. Then it's CDR. And it's Hamilton in at the 5 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. For 3, Kerr. And the basket good. Kerr's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Chicago. It's stolen by Douglas Roberts. Harris against Kerr.
Joe Harris. That's his third personal foul.
Pass to Jokic. Back to Kerr. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
Boston trails by 3. Curry passes to Walker. And it's Okafor missing.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup. Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
At the line.
And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Chicago.
At the line.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity.
And Anderson kicks to Kerr. Okafor with the steal. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Curry dishes to Harris. Doug. Roberts pulls it in. Young's checked in for Boston. Chicago leading by 4.
Coming on the floor for the Boston team.
We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. It's stolen by Curry. Pushing it out. And it's blocked. That one goes. Count it. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
Yeah, it sure has been the case. I mean, turnovers are like missing breakfast. Eventually, it's going to cost you.
Well, I've always thought that it was good to maybe miss a breakfast or two, but that's another story. Anyhow, you can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Kerr can't hit.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game. And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Chicago calls timeout.
That was a good time to call a timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, Kevin, Randy Whitman had some words for his team over the break. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Grant, he's checked in for Chicago.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Chris Singleton, he's checked in for Chicago.
Chris Singleton.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. To the paint. It's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. It's Curry outside.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And here comes Walker leading the fast break. It's tipped. Here's Jokic. Boston again missing.
You know, to cut deficits, you got to be making smart basketball plays out there. Taking care of the ball. It's not done by hoisting up bonehead threes like that one.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey, he's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have.
And it's slammed in by Young.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Grant the pass to Singleton. Down low. Hamilton. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down. He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break. What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
And it's Walker penetrating. Here's Okafor. It's in! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
This team really feeds off of one another in terms of their energy.
Perhaps, Greg, some type of motivational speech at halftime got both of these teams fired up.
Chicago calls timeout. They're leading by 2. 41 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Steve Kerr's checked in for Allen Anderson. And then for Boston, Harris is checked in for Young. And it's Rozier in for Curry. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. I mean, now's the time to use the clock to your advantage. Take your time. Milk the clock a little bit.
For 3, Kerr. But they'll get another chance. And again, Chicago. No good. Here's Rozier. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there.
You know, and after fighting to get back into it, that was the chance there to tie it up.
But you know what? You know, they've come this far. They're not going away now.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And you know what, Greg? Who knows? A few misses at the strike, and they're right there within range. You know, late-game free throws are a lot different than early-game free throws in terms of making them.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're behind by 3. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And there's still time left, so they don't necessarily have to go for the 3. A quick, easy bucket inside will do.
Well, I think the clock's a little short here for that. I mean, I'm not quite sold on the quick 2. I think they've got to look for a quality 3 to try to tie this thing up based on where the clock is right now.
Misses the 3. For the tie. Oh, he hits it. How about that shot?
Big time, big time.
And time expires, and we're going to overtime. And we'll be back right after this. Well, if you're just joining us, this one has been a great one. We've got overtime action now, folks. And it's Chicago to start out. So the overtime period is now ticking away. Should be fun. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball.